Hey everyone, so UFC 298 is this weekend, and the co-main event is Robert Whittaker versus Paulo Costa. Now, I'm pretty entertained. Entertained by this fight and intrigued by it, because Robert Whittaker, one of my favorite fighters in the middleweight division. I'm curious how he's gonna do after coming off a loss to Dricus du Plessis in a fight. Many people, including me, thought he was gonna win. And it wasn't like a close decision or anything. It was a second round getting TKO'd or KO'd. I don't remember which one it was. But point is, he got finished. First round of it, he got taken down, which Robert Whittaker has amazing takedown defense, so that was crazy. And lost that round. Was outstruck and then got finished. So, but then again, Dricus du Plessis is also now the champion, so that win or that loss hasn't aged poorly, which is good. And then you got Paulo Costa, who is since losing to Israel Adesanya has not been doing good. He He got a fight canceled with Jared Cannonier, which many people don't remember. Then there was the Marvin Vettori fight that he was like, the Marvin Vettori fight where he was like, no, I'm not fighting him. And then they had their fight scheduled, and then he came in overweight, very overweight, to the point where the fight had to get moved to 205, which made it bad for Marvin Vettori. And then Marvin Vettori happened to outstrike him and beat him, which if you're getting made look that bad against Marvin Vettori, who I do not think is good, then I don't trust your skills that much. And then he fought Luke Rockhold, where he was supposed to KO Luke Rockhold because Paulo Costa has a pretty good left hook. He's got good hooks in general, but his left hook is supposed to be the one that's going to KO Luke Rockhold, who gets KO'd by every left hook he gets hit with. And it just so happens that that's the one time Luke Rockhold doesn't get KO'd or close to getting KO'd. It was such a weird fight. And then you had 2023 of all the fight cancellations that made that UFC 294. Yeah, UFC 294 even worse. And I just don't trust him to be consistent in training, in preparation, and taking Robert Whittaker serious. I'm still not fully convinced he's actually going to show up to the fight. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to knock on wood here, just to kind of hope that he shows up, because I want to see him fight. I don't want to see some short notice guy get brought in for Robert Whittaker, or even worse, this fight get taken off this card, which this card isn't bad. But I just don't. I think without this fight, the card's even worse, obviously. And if this fight does happen, it's 3 rounds, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 3 rounds. I'm going Whittaker, just plain as day, because Paulo Costa, believe it or not, does not hit hard. Because outside of people who aren't in the UFC and so far out of prime, he doesn't KO anybody. And he couldn't KO Luke Rockhold, just plain as day. And he doesn't get like a lot of these first round KOs besides like Johnny Hendricks, I believe. And I just cannot trust him to finish Robert Whittaker like Dricus did, because you can't compare those two. Then people can go, well, Paulo Costa has underrated Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah, here's the thing. He doesn't use it. He literally could have tried in taking down Israel Adesanya, didn't do it, and got TKO'd for it. Like an idiot. He does not go for takedowns. I don't think he's gone for a takedown in the UFC. It only has 1 submission to his name, so he probably doesn't even remember. Or his BJJ is probably not anywhere near the same level of skill that it was when he got his black belt. I'm just going to be honest, because if you're not using it, how can you expect it? You know, he had a surgery he's coming off of. He takes these long breaks in fighting, so ring rust is going to be a thing. Robert Whittaker is one of the better fighters in the middleweight division currently, because just of like proof of what we have to show. I would put it as currently Dricus du Plessis, Sean Strickland. You can switch whichever one, it doesn't matter for the point. And then it goes Israel Adesanya, maybe, because I do feel like I'm going to switch Robert Whittaker, because in my opinion Robert Whittaker beat Israel Adesanya in their second fight. So then it goes Israel Adesanya. So then he's one of the top guys in that, and Paulo Costa is not one of them. He couldn't outstrike, KO, or look super good against Marvin Vettori despite missing weight and having a huge weight advantage. wasn't even weight cutting, so it wasn't even like he was having a bad weight cut. He just didn't cut weight. So, just makes sense that the only thing that I think would make this fight, because I don't think this fight's going to be a dominant one for Robert Whittaker, because Whittaker does struggle with these bigger opponents, because you got to look at the people he did. Jared Cannonier, I don't care what you say, Jared Cannonier made that fight very close. Yoel Romero in both fights against Yoel, who is just his freaking nature, to be fair. It's just these guys do make it a bit more challenging. Dricus du Plessis, the guy who beat him, just that power thing, because frame is a different thing of that. And Paulo Costa, while he might not hit hard, he is super strong. There's a huge difference between that. That's the only thing I think could make this fight difficult, is it's harder to get the fight going and making everything work together when the other guy can't really fear your power of that. Because I don't think Robert Whittaker hits harder. I just think he's a better striker, better grappler, better all-around MMA fighter. But yeah, no, that's kind of my prediction. I'm just going to go unanimous decision, Robert Whittaker. I think it's going to be 29-28, honestly. I think Paulo Costa wins the first round and then progressively gets even worse and worse, and Robert Whittaker just gets better and better. So I think Robert Whittaker takes the first round off or kind of feels it out, so he'll lose that round because he's just trying to get used to the just strength of Paulo Costa, and then Paulo Costa will tire out because he'll do that eventually and won't establish any reason for Robert Whittaker to fear what he can do. It'll just be a 29-28, fairly entertaining fight, but not a fight of the night in my opinion. But yeah, that's my prediction. One of the first ones I'm doing this week. Bye.